Hello, my name is Chris Robinson. I'll be your professor for Math 107. I'd like to take a little time to introduce you to how our course is set up in Blackboard so that the first few days of class run smoothly. Now, what I need to do here is set things up so that I can share my screen. Give me just a moment. And I expect whenever you have logged into Blackboard for the first time, it looks something similar to this. I've set things up so that it looks like a student. Got a little bit of information about me and course overview videos where you're at right now. So what I'd like to do is to kind of guide you on the first few activities. I really hope that you go down to the second option here where it asks you to read and watch the essential items and begin there. So a few things to mention here with Blackboard that I think are worth mentioning or really bringing to your attention is sometimes over here on the left side, there's a lot of different menu options that may or may not be present. Sometimes they have this table of contents, sometimes they don't. You may have to take your mouse over to the left side and let it hover. Sometimes you can see it right there behind there. It has the course menu hidden by default. And I'm a person who likes that to be out and ready to go. I'm not sure if that applies to you, but if you don't see it on your particular device, over on the left side, hover, there should be a little arrow here where you can either hide the course menu or bring it out. It's very important to see that so that you can uh, access the things we need. So after you're done with this, I'd encourage you to take a look at the syllabus. And I've got the whole syllabus, but that can be a bit of a chore to look through all of that. So what I would encourage you to do instead is to select this voice thread. You just kind of click on the middle of it here. Let me pause it. I don't want to be talking to you at the twice at the same time. So I think we're good there. You click in the middle of this, you can maximize it on your screen, and you can listen to me discuss the main topics from the syllabus that are just essential for you to get class going. Uh, Once you listen to that, I have some information about the course textbook. Now, we have first day access associated with this account. What does that mean? It means that you don't have to go to the bookstore. It means that you don't really have to go looking online to buy this. The publisher has done its best to make sure that you're going to get the lowest price to get an e-text and access to MyLab, where we do our homework and our quizzes immediately. It's also sometimes called Archie's Book Bundle. So I say first day access, Archie's Book Bundle. This went by a couple of names while it's been here. If you don't want to use this, you'll have to opt out. I'll show you in a few minutes how to do that. But to be honest with you, this is usually about the best way to go because you can get the materials right now. Sometimes when you wait for them to, well, you don't have to wait for them to be delivered because you are going to have a very hard time finding a hard copy of this book. I think the publishers actually stopped doing that. It's all electronic now. So I always enjoyed having a hard copy of my textbooks so I could look through them, but that just seems to be kind of phasing out. So let's talk a little bit more about this textbook, MyLab, and that. So over here on the left, right underneath where it says Start Here, we've got a tab for MyLab. We'll go ahead and select that. And what I've done is I've set this up so when you're in Blackboard, you can click links in Blackboard and it'll take you directly to Pearson, MyLab. That'll be where we do our homework assignments. I don't ever really want you, and I don't expect you to go outside of Blackboard and try and log into Pearson separately. We've tried our best to eliminate that altogether. So what you'll do after you've selected this link, as I have it, see down here at the bottom, create an account, and you'll enter your email address, confirm that. I urge you to use your USI email address. I urge you to double check that and make sure that you don't have any sort of typos. This is the one thing that I have to contact the book rep if a student should make a mistake there. Get that right, please, please. Username, you can set up however you like, password, things like that, first name, last name, and then you can create an account. It'll ask you a few more things regarding what kind of college student you are, You'll go through some things like that with your full-time, undergraduate, graduate, things like that. I can't really go into that at this moment because I've got my own account as a professor or an instructor. But what's going to happen is I think it's like three screens in, we're eventually going to ask you on how you want to pay for this course. Well, you're going to use an access code. So on, let's say, the left side of the screen, they're going to have like a fan of different pages of book, and we'll ask you if you want to use an access code. If you go back, and let's get back to, let's see here in particular, watch how I select these. A lot of times when you're working in Blackboard up to the very top, you'll have names that you can select that will take you back to places you've been. You don't quite have a back button in Blackboard. These titles at the top are the best way to do that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to where we begin the course, and underneath Tools, it says First Day Access. I'm going to select that, and you'll get something like this. And I'll ask you if you want to reveal an access code. And that's certainly what I'm going to do here for a moment. I really don't think these are going to be the same thing as yours. I've never actually seen it provide me with anything like this. So what you'll want to do in your version of it is to copy that, go back to Pearson MyLab, paste that in there. That'll take care of it. And what I'll do is it'll have your account paid. This will let the bookstore know that they need to charge your account for the textbook. And you're going. I mean, truly first day access is what it means. Okay, so that should take care of your textbook. Now, if you, for some reason, had wanted to opt out, instead of selecting access code, down here below, it'll ask if you want to opt out, and it's something you can do. Do keep in mind, if you opt out, if you're taking another class, whenever you opt out with Archie's Book Bundle, it's sort of an all or nothing thing. You can't do it for just one course. You opt out of every course, or you opt in for all courses. So be careful. There are some aggressive marketing strategies being used there, but they are giving you the lowest price, at least for this text that I've come across. Okay, let's bounce on back. We've taken care of our Pearson account. Let's see, not worried about syllabus anymore. And the other item that I'd like you to look at, so we looked at the syllabus, we've done our textbook. You could take a look at what we're going to be learning from the semester, but if you listen to the voice thread that I've got for the syllabus, I'll mention that there. So you wouldn't have to go through this course and module objectives. I realize many of my students are full-time. They're working full-time is what I mean. So I have put together a schedule, and I've got a PDF of it up here of all the activities we're doing, when they're being done, so you can start to schedule out, particular test days are the ones that students are most interested in. And if you, let me bounce back here. If you listen to this voice thread, I will discuss how I set up all the times for you to take tests and things like that. So this would be another very important item to listen to. Once you're done with all of those, I've got a syllabus check that I would like you to complete. It's going to be 10 questions. You may take this twice. I will keep the highest score. You can begin it, resume it later. I don't mind if you say open the syllabus up or the pacing guide in another tab and go back and forth and look at that. It's really meant to be an opportunity for you to search for information that you need that I would like you to know about in the syllabus or calendar. So once you're in a good time, good place that you can do that, if you click begin, it'll start to ask you the questions. You can save your answers as you go through again. You've got you got 2 attempts, and you have till Thursday of first week of class at the end of the day, and it's 11:59 p.m. Central Standard Time. Be careful. Some of my students might be on a different time zone. The university's on Central Time Zone, so whenever you are completing assignments in Blackboard, you want to watch about the time in Central. Just to keep things interesting, my lab, where we will end up doing our homework, that will always be on Eastern Time. So be careful about deadlines of 11:55, 11:59. If you're in my lab, that's on Eastern time, so you might have to adjust accordingly. That takes care of our essential items. So once you've got the syllabus check done, I'm not too worried about you familiarizing yourself with technology tools. That was part of setting this course up initially, but I found over the semester students typically don't need that. What I would do next is jump to introduce yourself to the class. So I would click this underlined name, and we're going to launch something we call a voice thread, and we'll use this throughout the semester. And let's make sure I don't start talking over myself. Okay, good. And what you'll do is I would ask that you introduce yourself a little bit. Actually, if you select this later, whenever you're doing yourself, I'll give you a sort of a prompt to help you introduce yourself to the class. This is worth 5 points, and it's actually due by Tuesday of the first week of class. This is the first assignment we ever have due, and it's really a low stake one. I just want you to take some time to introduce yourself. I'm not expecting you to have a long, drawn-out introduction. It's just get to know you in a quick way. And please don't miss the points on that, okay? So let's see, we got that done. And after that, you're really ready to start working into the work of the semester, the modules. So I would come into module 1, and you can start working your way through here. I have set it up so that you have access, a link to the Pearson eText for our class in each module. Let's I'm sorry, it's thinking of me as a student right now. If it had been myself, it would have taken me in as a professor. Tell you what, I'm going to exit out of the preview because I do want to show you what our textbook, our e-textbook looks like. So if I go on down here to where I was, logging on in, and I hope you notice how I'm not having to type my username and password. That's not something I was intending for you to do every time. Since you're in Blackboard, it knows who you are. And over on the left side, we've got our table of contents. So I've given you page numbers in our calendar to let you know where things are at. We'll work with fractions in our first module. And if you're trying to find something, let me bring your attention. So you got page numbers. Hey, if I want to go to page 45, it'll take me right there. And then I can get to, so down here at the bottom, you can type in the page number you want to go to, get to the information that would help you study the concepts that I'm asking you to master. So that helps you know how to get to things with your textbook. Let me come on back to where we were. In each module, I will have a location where I'll let you know where everything's due for that module. You'll have links to the first homework, second homework, and the quiz. So you can just select these in Blackboard, and they'll take you right to the assignments. I would say that I don't open the assignments for our second module until the first module's test is done. If you select these and it says it's not ready yet, it's just because we haven't had that much time to get there. You got your discussion question, which will be just completed in Blackboard. And that really is a good outline of our module assessments. When it comes to each exam, I'll put together a practice exam for you, and you can either listen to me comment on how to solve them. You could actually select the original questions, print it off and try it yourself. You can check your work and see if you're getting them right. So all sorts of things to help you determine how well you understand the material and you're ready for exams. So since we're talking about that, right now you see down here at the bottom it says exam number 1. This item is hidden. Whenever we get to our first exam, that will show up. And what'll happen is students will be able to go in here and if you enter in there at the beginning, you see I've got this, it's adaptive release. This will be something that only you see. So whenever you go into this exam number 1 folder, you'll be the only one that sees your exam. And on test day, I'll ask that you go ahead and log on in here. You'll select the test. There'll be a PDF file down here, and that'll be how you see your questions are on the exam. Now, a few things I need to talk about regarding how I post grades and things like that, since we're kind of thinking about where exams lead us to. Over here on the left, underneath tools, I've got this graded items menu item. So if you select that, if you do it on your own, you're not going to see. Let me show you what it looks like in student preview. I've set this up so that only a student can only see their own folder. So if Alicia, if you select it, you will see your folder, but Emily, you won't see Alicia's. Emily, if you select it, you'll see yours, but you won't see Alicia's. What you do is you select your name, and it's going to take you to a SharePoint folder where I post scanned documents. So it could be your scanned rubric from your discussion question, or it could be your scanned work from your first exam. And as we go through the semester, right now it's empty, but it'll fill up. This is where I get graded work back to you. I don't worry about that so much with homework and quizzes because that's completed through MyLab. But with exams and discussion questions, I certainly do. If you want to look at your overall grades underneath graded items, there's check grades, and you can see here what things are upcoming. You can see when they're due. You can see how many points they are. I do want to bring your attention as you get down through here where it says module number 3 discussion question. I have tried my best to get rid of this, and I just can't. I don't know what it is. Don't ever worry about module 3 discussion question because we don't have one. There's no points to miss. It's just kind of a weird situation for me. Don't want to make it cause you any worry. Textbook errors, I've taught this for a number of semesters, worked through all the problems I've assigned you. If you're looking at the back of the book and you're just kind of confused that you think you got the right answer, but it doesn't seem like it's not agreeing with what's in the back of the book, if you select this, I'll let you know the errors that I've found. Not sure those will publish or they may be fixed now, but that's something to keep in mind as well. You can send me an email. I've got this option here, but ckrobinson@usi.edu. You'll probably have that in your own folder, and you can just reply to anything that I may have sent you and send me a question if you've got it. So let me go back to the student view and kind of wrap this up. I'm sorry it takes a little while, but there's a lot of things to show, and I don't want you guys wondering where things are at. One last thing here is you might notice on the left between modules and tools, there's sort of these two divider bars. There's nothing in between there. Well, the reason we don't have anything there now is because as we finish exams through the semesters, I'll post the exam and the key so that you can look over those and use those to study for the final. At this moment, we don't have anything there, but in the future we will. That should do it. I will be open to any questions if you got them. Look forward to getting to know you and working with you guys through the semester. Wish you all the best. So let me stop sharing my screen here in the video and go from there.